As I explained on the phone, we're looking for some professional advice on how to attract Chinese tourists. So, could you tell us something about the profile of a typical outbound Chinese tourist and what their motivations are?
Well, for the first 10 years, when China opened up, tourists were mostly people travelling abroad for the very first time. They were the Generation X, people born, let's say, between 1960 and 1980. And the main question for the operator was how to put a package together at a price people could afford. And that meant, basically, rock-bottom prices. For Generation X travellers, the opportunity to travel abroad was a status symbol, a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and there was much concern for quality because of the price factor. Well, there is still that market, basically. Older people who want to visit as many countries as possible in 10 days and are happy to stay in budget hotels. But I think we're now entering a second phase. There's a new profile of people who have a lot of money, are very active, go to expensive restaurants and so on. What we call Generation Y.
In what other ways are they different from Generation X?
Generation Y are in their mid-20s, and they're the highly educated, connected generation that's always been dominated by technology. They spend a lot of time on the internet, and they've already abandoned the computer for the smartphone. They've probably already been to Europe a couple of times, maybe on business trips. So they want to do something more independent, more tailor-made, to coincide with their leisure interests.
Okay, so whereabouts in China do these types of tourists come from? Can we make any generalizations?
Actually, there's been a change in the pattern. In the past, 80% of Chinese wealth was in Shanghai and Beijing, and the other 20% in secondary cities with a population of less than 10 million. So, most outbound Generation X tourists came from those two major cities. But now it's the opposite. 20% of the wealth is in Shanghai and Beijing, and 80% in other places.
That's important to know. So, how could you define the profile of this 80%?
Well, they're the newly rich. Unlike the older generation, who just wanted to go to the most famous places and see the typical sights, the younger generation is interested in showing that they've got money. They want to stay in luxury hotels with big lobbies and buy luxury branded goods and so on. They speak English, and now they want more specialised products, a more authentic experience. They don't just want to follow the tour leader's flag.
What kind of authentic experience do you have in mind?
There's a whole new market for special interest groups, niche tourism, adventure vacations, golf vacations, nature tours, sports, ecotourism, things like that.
OK, thanks. That's good to know.